Hi, my name is Felipa, and this is day 18 of 365 days of the year-long reading plan of completing this Bible. So today I started on chapter, let's see, I want to confirm, chapter 12 of Exodus. And we basically see all the Israelites under the guidance of Moses continue their journey from Egypt, and now we have the Pharaoh basically gunning it for the Israelites. And so we have a couple of rules set up that God tells Moses to tell the people of Israel. So to follow the ordinance of eating unleavened cakes or bread, to actually the firstborn have them sanctified to God. So all of the firstborn males of both children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine. And then as we go on, basically we have a couple of situations where the people of Israel constantly find themselves in predicaments like not having food or not having water. And each time they go to Moses and to Aaron and they complain about it and murmur about it, and they say, "What have you done to us? You took us away from Egypt where we had food, and now we're starving, or now we don't have water." And each time Moses speaks to God, and each time God provides for the people of Israel. And so then we see the Egyptians continue to pursue the Israelites and Moses, and they come to the Red Sea. And this is where we have that famous, kind of very well-known story and depiction of Moses parting the Red Sea, the people of Israel passing through, and the sea coming back again and basically destroying the Egypt army that was following them. Moses and the people then sing a song to God, and we continue on, and once again we have a situation where the people come across a place called Marah, and there are waters, but they're bitter and they can't drink it. The people complain, and it says God shewed him a tree cast into the waters, and the waters were made sweet. And we keep going on, and it's interesting because the people keep murmuring about these things, and the Lord said unto Moses, "How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws?" Because he had instructed them to go into the fields and gather bread, he sent for 6 days straight, and not on the seventh day, because it's known as a Sabbath or Shabbat. And some people weren't listening, and so this is why I'm thinking here in verse 28, obviously the Lord speaking to Moses is clearly a little bit maybe irritated, because he says, "Why are you continuing to refuse my commandments and laws?" And so it makes me kind of think that we see this pattern of people repeating the same thing over and over and not building faith in God. And I said, here is God trying to teach people faith, because he keeps showing them miracles, perhaps in hope that they will build faith, that good will be provided for them, and that they will be taken care of. So through all these instances, you would think that they would have faith that God would provide for them, because he always has, but they continue to murmur every time that there is some sort of a discord and that they're not provided for right in the moment. And then we end on this part here where essentially Moses' father-in-law shows up, and in this section in chapter verse 13, it says, so chapter 18, verse 13, it says that Moses' father-in-law ended up seeing him counsel people from morning until the evening, and people would stand in lines and he would sit there and counsel them. And his father-in-law, with a lot of insight, said, "You know, if you keep doing this, you're basically going to burn yourself out, and this is no way to do this." And in verse 15, even Moses said, "The people come on to me to inquire of God." And so then Moses' father-in-law gives him advice, and he says, "Listen to my voice. I'm going to give you counsel so that you can bring these causes that God wants onto the people, and teach them ordinance and laws, and show them the way that they must walk and the work that they must do. And moreover," he says, "put into power able men who have these qualities, that they fear God, that they are of truth, that they hate covetousness, and then place these people to be rulers over the other people, and let them judge small things and small matters, and then every great matter they shall bring to you. And so then that's exactly what Moses does here. And he listens to the voice of his father-in-law, and he chooses able men out of all Israel, and he lets them rule over people and to judge them. So the hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. And so this is a really great example of the fact that Moses, who has these wonderful skills to lead and to be the vessel and the voice of God, is now empowering the people who he feels obviously have some of these same abilities as he does to be in rule of the people who need the guidance. And so basically almost like not necessarily a carbon copy of himself, but of somebody who exemplifies the same sorts of traits and characteristics that obviously God prefers and favors, and that Moses is seen to show these people. Now other individuals below him and beneath him will also, who show these traits, will rule over the people and help judge small matters and bring to Moses some of the greater ones. So this is where we end day 18th. Tomorrow is day 19, and we start with chapter 19, actually. The people come to Sinai. I'll see you tomorrow.